Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
We're here! We're here!
Welcome
We're
to
here!
Let Your Google Hangout, episode 126.
Woo!
Today with me, Chucky. Hello.
Hello! I look good! Been working out, feeling funky, a lot of stuff going on. Not really. Scotty, who do we have here with us?
With us is Austin.
Hello.
All right, I guess I'll show up on screen. Hi. So we had, like, Chucky and I were having a conversation all day long with Rob,
Kim
and Moonshine, and then suddenly around like 8 o'clock they vanished. Not a, all right guys, see you later. It was literally like they vanished. They knew. Maybe they don't want to do the show anymore. Maybe they're all calling it quits. No, I don't know what they're doing. Rob's always like, I'm not available before 9:30. I'm like, all right, then you come in halfway through. Matt, not sure what he's doing. Probably making some top 10 list, and Moonshine's probably putting on her makeup.
Oh my God, what a whiny little bitch. All right, let's talk about something that's important. What's going on with you, Austin?
Pretty much same as the last time I was on the show, working towards my degree and trying to finish an album for my band, which is currently stopped because we lost our studio because of a move. So we're trying to get that back together and get everything back up and running.
What kind of music are we talking about?
Like progressive rock, alt rock type stuff.
So that beard is getting pretty gnarly.
You got him on full screen, dude.
I know I do.
It was actually trimmed since the last time I was here, and it just grew past.
But what's the motivation? Are you trying to be Santa Claus by Christmas or what?
No, the original motivation was last summer I had a job that I had to stay clean-shaven for. And I thought I was going to have it again this summer. So what I was going to do is just grow it out and then show up with it to like freak the employer out and then just get rid of it that day. And then that fell through, so I just decided, let's keep it going. Let's see how far I can do it without just it getting in the way of regular things.
That is profound. Well, what's going on with that? Are you just blocking out your window back there for the green screen, and then you cover it up with the like? What is that all about?
Oh no,
that's even creepier than the last time you were on the show.
That was the same thing. It just had a poster over it to disguise it a little bit more, but that fell down. That is a piece of insulation in the window because the frame warped off the window. So in the summer it got wicked hot in here, and in the winter it was freezing. So something had to be done. That's what's done until it can be replaced.
There you go. Okay. Now let me ask you. You said you're in college. You're attending Full Sail, but online?
Yes.
So they're going to give you the same degree, and you never even have to walk on campus.
More or less, but
Nice.
that and I got a bunch of gear. I got the computer I'm using, the camera behind me, mics, a full lighting kit, all that other fun stuff. So right when I'm out, I have the things that I need to actually do work for people at the same time.
Now, with the online courses as opposed to being there in person, is it less, vigorous? Is it more because for those of you that don't know, Full Sail is in Orlando, which is about 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes from UCF where I went to school, and it's a well-known video production music school. The entertainment side, and they do degrees. A bachelor's degree, which you get from a university, is 4 years. At Full Sail, you can basically get it in 18 to 24 months, and that's because they have classes 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but basically 18 to 24 hours a day, at least Monday through Friday, and I think they do have classes on Saturdays as well. So pretty intense.
Yeah, actually now some of the courses like mine have been extended past the 24 to the 32 month.
Okay,
so
good.
A little bit more time to actually hone your craft if then needed be, so people aren't just jumping out being like, we skipped half of the things that I now need to know.
Well, I think, as much as 4 years of school is like an eternity, and when I transferred transferred schools and all, and had to become a resident of Florida, mine became 5 years. I was able to get multiple certificates and degrees and stuff, and attend to schools and work full time. It was a lot of work, but I I don't know, man. I could not do online classes. I took 2 online classes in college, and the only withdrawal I've ever had was an online class. It was like a history class. I'm like, this is painstaking. Like, I cannot do this. I have to be there listening and being forced to read something rather than just hand in electronic essays every week. I'm like, oh shit, it's Wednesday again, and then I would forget to do my work, and that's not how I am. I'm very much hands-on. I'd never miss a day of school in high school. I was just that, or college, really. I was just that type of guy.
You know what? For certain classes, Scotty, it worked out pretty well. But I agree with you. Sometimes it's much better to be in the room. But there are certain classes that if you can telecommute in, it's better. You know what I mean?
To me, I not to take away from what Austin's studying, but I went to school for digital media technology, which is basically his field, the motion picture production. You can only learn so much of that on your own. You need hands-on experience. You need internships, externships. You need to be there with the professor hands-on. You need to learn how to put things together and learn things through trial and error and work with people and take acting classes. You can't act through an online class. You can only do so much that way. You need to be there physically, something there that's tangible. I don't know. I could not do it. I don't know how you do it, Austin.
It's a lot of self-motivation to get shit done.
I don't have it.
I've only had one problem with one class because the self-motivation just wasn't there.
My motivation is to get up, go to class, talk to people, and learn. But mine is not to get up and go to an online course by X amount of time or take a test that's timed online. I gotta be there in person. I don't know. No way. That's crazy. But
I'll tell you this much though. For certain types of things, if you don't need to be there, because I agree with you, certain things you got to be hands-on. I took a class in nutrition and pharmacology, neither one of which I needed to be there for it. Neither one. It's just read the fucking book and But when you're talking about something technical, obviously they have to have some sort of workshop environment where you can actually have somebody right there with you setting it up. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like you couldn't be a recording engineer without somebody sitting there going, no, twist this knob, you're hearing this, or what have you. I mean, there's certain things I don't think it would work for unless you have a lot of experience in it.
One class that was torture for me, and I hate to say this, but like audiovisual production, and my mom was an audiovisual teacher in my high school. But stage lighting, there's no way. I was looking at sheets, and they're like, okay, well, the play is going to be X amount of actors and actresses, and stage left, you're going to do this, stage right, you're going to do that, and here's the height of this, and here's how many are going to be in attendance, and here's the mood of the play. So now you need to backlight the main character who's going to be standing. I'm like, oh, this is so boring. That is not me. I took theater classes, and I took stage lighting, and it bored the shit out of me. I don't care if the power can 60 versus a blah 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 20 and spotlight this and that. Just there's somebody for that. It's not me. I was the guy that's like, okay,
that type of technical work, sound design, lighting design, stage design. What people don't understand is like you could be the best band in the world if you've got a shitty light guy and a shitty sound guy. You're a shitty band. You look like shit. You sound like shit.
You're absolutely right.
So much going on with the crew.
I filmed a wedding in Pittsburgh this weekend, and the wedding was at Heinz Chapel, and the reception was at Carnegie Mellon, the music hall there, and it was the acoustics. I mean, it was a little echoey, but it was beautiful. Like the sound, it was a live band, so it was awesome, and that really does make a big difference. If you've got shitty speakers or somebody who doesn't know,
there was a it's on Netflix, and it's called Who the Fuck Is This One Guy, and I can't remember his name, but he was a guy who worked for Live Nation, and he really changed the way live tours go out, and they were talking about U2, and they had to build this, they were doing something in the round, and this ridiculous thing had to be built and transported. It was like a 60-some-odd truck show, which is insane. And it has to be, not only do they have to build it in a way that you can take it down, load it, take it someplace else. in 60 fucking trucks. The conceptualizing for that is just insane, dude. And then the sound design and the lighting and the stage. Dude, the logistics behind a large show, the logistics of just going up on stage at a corner bar, if they have a stage and they've got decent lights and sound and there's somebody going, okay, give me the kick drum, you know, that's a big enough pain in the ass. But when you're talking about presetting lights and setting up the show and you've got these cues and those, it just goes on, dude. It's fucking crazy.
I'd say the most elaborate, I used to do security. It was my job in college. And I did a lot of concerts at what's now First Niagara Center, but it was HSBC Arena then. And the most elaborate concert I've ever done was probably Cher. And it was everything. After everything ended, everything was packed up in an hour. Like, I was like, holy shit. These guys were like, knocked down all the chairs, did this,
oh,
did
yeah,
this.
They don't fuck around. Oh,
like,
God. You get a good fucking crew together.
Yeah, she had so many things, and they travel together, so they know the chemistry, the breakdown. But the setup was like, she had about you know, like a little video monitor for like film, or you know, the little black and white screens. Yeah. She had probably 40 of them. There were probably 5 rows of 8, and
this was for Madonna.
Different angles of her and the stage, and who was coming in. Like, somebody was there to give them cues on a walkie-talkie, and they just it was like a play. It was a performance. It was not just singing. It was like a full-out performance.
Well, when you're talking about a production of that magnitude, you are talking about lighting cues and sound cues and digital cues for the band, especially, for example, if the band is using a MIDI controller, if they're using digital information to change things, they can set all of the guitar sounds and everything. For example, one band I knew of, the sequencer would just send out MIDI signals so that the keyboard patches would change, the guitar sounds would change, everything would change. You can sync everything together with that, but it's getting to that point, plotting all that out, setting the lights, first of all, just one of my friends who worked on a crew used to say this, you know, the talent has a bad day, we get a bad review. Crew has a bad day, somebody can die. The only time I ever saw a crew take a bow was at a Cirque du Soleil show. They actually ran out and waved and then went right back to their places because they were so integral to the show, because it's Cirque, you know. But when you're talking about, when people say, oh, I want to be a sound mixer, it's like, dude, do you even know what that means? Do you even know what you're setting yourself up for, to be able to mix sound? You know, high pressure sound. You know, when somebody's mixing sound for a large hall, a large room, a stadium, that's insane, dude. The amount of fucking equipment and everything that's going on there, it's nuts.
Yeah. Now, all this got started because of what Austin is going to school for and studying. Let's blame him if you're bored. Like Justin Other Brony or something, he wrote, God damn, this is boring. Well, sorry, buddy, can't please everyone. Kane says, hey, guys, haven't been able to watch in a while, but now I finally have been able to watch. Cool. Chucky, smoking some apple vapor right now. What about you?
Peach.
Oh, peach.
What's Austin vaping?
Mine is some very extreme mint. It attacks the back of your throat.
Damn. It's like a menthol.
It's an extreme mint. It's like vaping a fisherman's friend. And
Damn.
like not knowing what a fisherman's friend tastes like the first time you do it. It took me like 3 days to get used to it. Like, don't get me wrong, it tastes good, but
I'm not a huge fan of the menthol-y ones, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, Thomas Henry says, this is the first one I've saved for, what do they normally talk about? To answer your question, Thomas, we talk about a number of things, but we try to get into controversial topics, things that people are kind of shying away from these days. It could be sex, religion, politics, whatever. Not that I always like to talk about politics, but like somebody in the group has a strong opinion about something, and I like to debate and educate and learn. So there's that. We get into what each one of our channels are doing, so we obviously bring up YouTube, but I like to bring up like, you know, facts or interesting information that I learned that day or that week, or something that's in the news that is buzzing that week. And so yeah, we mix it up. You can pretty much bring up any topic you want, and we can discuss it if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, let us know. For example, when I woke up, I read that Philip Seymour Hoffman, who we've talked about previously on the show, that he actually rejected trust funds for his children. So he left his $35 million estate with his partner, his girlfriend, if you will, and they never got married because he doesn't believe in marriage. But basically, he didn't leave money for the kids because he didn't want them to be, trust fund kids that like grew up in L.A. He said,
Spoiled motherfucker. Smart boy.
Manhattan, San Francisco, or Chicago. He said cities like that is where I want my kids to grow up if something happened to me, and that's because they have strong cultural backgrounds, and nice cities to grow up in. He didn't want it to be L.A. He didn't want it to be anything, superficial, pretentious. So there's that. But he did say that he trusted her because he knew she would take care of the kids. So if he left everything with her, nothing would go to his kids too soon. I believe there is some money that they can get to when they're 25, 30, but...
I always thought about that. I was like, if I came into a lot of money, what would I do with it when I died? Would I, part of it would go to charity? How much would I give to so-and-so, my family, this person, that charity, this, and it's like, are you helping them out or are you making their lives worse? Sometimes you really are. If you do
can
that,
enable them. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes just handing somebody a lot of money doesn't really, it's not the best idea.
Like John Lennon's son, I don't remember his name. I think it's Sean Lennon or something. He looks a lot like him. Has glasses, the beard, the hat, like the very similar look. He's also doing music. It's a little different, kind of whiny, very similar, but you're going to be compared your whole life, and they are different. He did an interview where he kind of sounded a little whiny, like, I don't like when people trying to compare me to my father. I like to have my own style of music, my own thoughts, my own opinions, and people always bring up my father when I want it to be about the music, and he's got a point, but I'm sitting there going, you're always going to be compared. Where I think Philip Seymour Hoffman didn't want anything like that. He wanted them to have some hardships, but also have a backing with his partner who he trusted if something were to happen to them. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, no one in our group has kids.
I know. That is crazy.
And some of them, I mean, Maddie's like almost 30. You're
32.
Yeah. Moonshine and Jacqueline are kind of young. I don't know. I have no idea how old Rob is. 24?
Mid-20s.
Yeah. So, and I never had children. Never really happened. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if it's going to happen. So that's, there was a time in my life where I thought it might happen, but now, and I don't think Austin has kids.
No.
I mean, now that you brought it up, man. I will feel like no matter how much success I have in life, if I don't have kids, I'll feel like a failure. And that's because that's a priority to me. I want to learn from my father's mistakes and friends and observations that I've seen, both positive and negative, and apply those skills or knowledge, that knowledge with kids. I think that's amazing. I want to be a father. Every time I see somebody with kids, I'm like, as long as it doesn't become your profile picture, because you still have your own identity.
Thank you.
I think that it's an amazing thing. I love being an uncle. I love being a cousin to a bunch of kids, and I go out and throw a ball around and all sorts of things. I think it's cool. So anyway, yeah, I definitely plan on it. And Chucky, at your age, if you're still considering it, you better find yourself a sugar mama.
Not really, to be honest with you, because it just. You get to a certain age where it's like you won't be old enough to see them. You're too old to see them grow up. What's the fucking point?
And that's what I fear now. I'm like, I don't want to go extinct. I don't want to be to the point where I'm old and then like if I do want to have a kid, even if I'm 40, but I don't want to be 65 trying to throw a football around with a teenager.
I know, right?
In college or something,
Yeah, that's what I think. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Moonshine.
Moonshine Bonanza.
How's it going?
He's a Pikachu.
Did it really take you 35 minutes to get ready, girl?
No, it did not. It took me this long to get up to pick up my microphone because it's heavy.
Are you okay? You've been working out.
Are you hiding behind your microphone?
A little bit. I feel gross. I'm gross.
I'm guessing you just woke up and you're hungover or tired.
No, dude, I told you earlier today, if you like read a second of anything other than your own posts, I've been like running a
Yeah, that's
fever
what I do.
all
I read my
day.
own.
He's
No, but
sick.
you go on this little
Girl is sick.
tangent with those guys, and you just go back and forth, like, and then there's 37 unread messages. I'm like, oh Jesus, what did I miss?
Okay, Pot, you can call me Kettle.
Nice. All right, so.
So what did I miss?
No, wait, I get to be Pot. Yay, Pot.
So.
Oh my God! Thanks for answering me, Moonshine. You're right on top of things today.
I'm running a fever.
Yeah, she's
I've
sick.
been very sick all day.
She's
I
been
just
all-
have, like,
Fever. That sucks.
zero energy.
You
So
stop
I've been
running
trying to-
around naked, maybe you wouldn't catch your death of cold.
I know.
Are you staying hydrated at least? Drinking some water,
Beers.
beers.
Drinking some
Yeah.
beers. Just drinking some beers.
Wasted right now. Just kidding.
Yes, drinking some beers.
Wasted, drinking some beers.
I can't drink beer.
So Moonshine, we've got Austin in the house. He's not really saying anything right now. He's just kind of being a creep.
I was letting you guys do your thing because I can't interject in any of these private conversation things.
Sure, you can. You can be that. You can use one of your voices and just interject.
All right.
All right.
Well, today's been kind of just one of those days. I kind of woke up with a little chip on my shoulder. Sometimes, you wake up and you're happy, and other days you're like,
Actually, yesterday, I was just incredibly tired, and I was talking to my friend Lynn about this, where I slept, but then later on in the day I took a longer nap and then slept again because I was just exhausted. It was like it took me a while just to be able to get up and be like, oh, I feel good. You know what I mean? I was just beat. It took a lot of sleep to knock it out of me. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do is just fucking sleep, dude.
Oh yeah, like if you're doing a lot of things, it will literally drain you, and if you don't sleep enough, you're gonna be emotionally drained. So if you don't get that REM sleep in there, at least for a few hours.
At least. Preferably 12 or 13 of them.
That's a lot.
that REM sleep, that REM sleep, that rapid eye movement he talks about. Oh, you're so crafty.
Well, you kind of need that to live.
Yeah. There's a guy that tricked himself into getting 2.5 hours of sleep. I believe he was a magician. He wanted to see how long he could do it, and that's what David Blaine, when I saw him at UB, University at Buffalo, he was talking about getting that little of sleep every day, and he's like, it's insane. You can trick your body into only needing that,
Didn't Kramer do that on Seinfeld?
I forget.
I'm sure.
He slept for a half hour every 4 hours, and it was like it's called the Ubermensch sleep cycle. You can look it up. It's an actual thing where you sleep for like 30 minutes every 4 hours, and because you're forcing your body to go to sleep, apparently it's like absolute hell for the first like 2 to 3 weeks, but after you get past this certain hump, every time you take a 30-minute nap, you're getting like, your body is like, oh, this is all we're getting, so it drops you like right into REM sleep, and so you're actually getting more restful sleep and less sleep, and that's the idea behind it. Who knows if it actually is a thing.
There was a thing, Moonshine, where they were talking about people used to sleep for a certain amount of hours, then in the middle of the night they would wake up, hang out with neighbors around 3, 4 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, hang out for a couple hours, and then go back to sleep again. They kind of broke it up. That was the normal way it was done. And in one way I thought about it, and I was like, sounds like fun. You'll wake up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Think I'll go to Scotty's house, get a beer, and then
you should just add one more to that and take like a mid-afternoon nap, and like, fuck yeah, that sounds like my kind of life.
I know, right?
But with the 30 minutes every 4 hours, how do you lead a completely productive lifestyle? Like
It depends on what you're doing. I know any YouTuber that could probably get away with that.
Anybody who works from home.
Yes. There's no way you're holding down a full-time job, like in an office, just dozing off every 4 hours.
Strippers could do it. There's 2. Are you sensing a pattern to my life?
Little bit. I feel you.
Hell, I did it my entire way through school, no problem. Not college, mind you, because
That's what class was for, right?
Exactly.
I know, right?
Sometimes there was just no helping it. I tried, but not that hard, actually.
I know I've been ranting.
What I always thought was, it's weird too because you always get these fucking guys if you ever go into a furniture shop, a mattress shop, and they'll always give you the same spiel. It's like, well, you spend a third of your life sleeping, you should at least be comfortable and buy a good mattress. And it's like, it sounds like a fucking salesman's pitch, and it is. I mean, come on, it is. But there's a certain amount of truth in it, dude. How much time do you spend just out cold, And there have been times in my life where I was like, man, there's nothing to do. I've got all my work done. I'm ahead of this. Fuck this. I'm taking a nap. Sometimes sleep is the best idea. That's all. Just making a point.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had some pretty busy dreams lately, so.
I don't remember mine. I know some people who remember those.
I usually don't, which is why having a really vivid, really busy dream is like something I do remember, because I feel like not even do I not like remember them, I just don't dream that often.
You know what I found? I had read and I tried it and it worked. Apparently, and Scotty can back me up on this because we have a fucking Mayer Brothers, the apple cider place is right there. So we get a lot of apple cider in Western New York. If you drink apple cider before you go to bed, it's supposed to give you much more vivid dreams. And I tried it, and it actually did. It seemed that they were a little bit more vivid. But I just tend not to remember them, or as I wake up, I sort of remember them, and then they just kind of disappear into the ether. Never seen again.
I think dreams for me, it's your brain basically entertaining your body while you're asleep, and it's a collection of so many things and thoughts, consciously and subconsciously, that happen throughout the day, week, your life, and I have a lot of recurring themes that that make me go, let me look up what this meaning is, and then I'm like, wow, that really makes a lot of sense because I'm thinking a lot about this, or this just happened to me, or in hindsight I'll go, damn, that's what that meant. It's just weird. I think we're connected with energies in certain ways, and my best friend in college, who I was a roommate with, my freshman year when we were required to study religious studies 101, I took a regular basic class, which I could have done online. I would have preferred. All this guy did was talk like that the whole time in his Paul Bunyan shirt and his white beard and bald head. And then at the end of the year, at the end of the semester, he ended up giving away all of his notes. Like, I took perfect notes all semester, going, all right. And then each test we had was exactly what he would demonstrate. And then at the end of the semester, he just gave it to us to study. I'm like, are you kidding me? I typed all these for nothing. Anyway, that's not even the point of the story. I had to do that. But his Religious Studies 101 class, his teacher had them study dreams. And if you had a dream, you wrote about it, and you broke it down, and you broke down what it meant. And that really got me on. So since 2001, I've been really turned on to the idea of what dreams mean, if I could remember it. It's just hard to remember any dream but the ones right before you wake up.
And then the ones that you really want to remember to write down, you'll go to grab something and they're just gone.
Yeah.
Completely gone. And then you'll have one that you're just sitting in the chair the entire time. You're like, okay, that's easy enough to remember. But if you have something really cool, you want to remember it and tell somebody, it's gone.
Oh, I had one that was super. If I had a dream that is epic, it was I was basically a character in Grand Theft Auto, and it was
Nice.
level 5, 5 stars, and there were cops everywhere, helicopters. They're all chasing me, but none of the pedestrians were threatened by me. In fact, they were talking to me or helping me out. I got to a hotel, and a butler walked me in, showed me this area and this and that, and then I made it to the roof, and I was jumping over things, and I saw a homeless guy, and I looked out, and there was a view of the beach or of the ocean, and in the ocean were mermaids and all sorts of weird things doing. I was like, Jesus, did I do some sort of drug that I'm not aware of? It was just very vivid and colorful, and anyway, And then I remember, like, I somehow made it back down by the beach. I'm running, and then suddenly snowmobiles went by me, and the sand was now snow.
Suddenly,
And I'm like,
snowmobiles.
it was just weird. And they were friends of mine. My roommate passed by me in a snowmobile going the other way, and they were, like, in a race. Suddenly, after they passed me, there were, like, 13 more, and they all had the numbers from, like, a race. And I'm like, what is going on here? But it was, I don't even know what the meaning of that part of it was, but the cops chasing me meant something. Whether it was a cop, a ton of cops, whether I was actually arrested or just being chased, those are all things that mean something. And it can mean
You know
you're
what? I don't
uncomfortable,
believe
you're
that.
placed, you're being pressured.
I question that. I don't know if I believe that. I question that because everyone's like, well, if you dream about this, it means this. And dreams like, how the fuck do you know that? You know?
You don't. I mean, it's just
yeah.
trying to analyze it. And sometimes I could be in a car and I'm talking to my aunt or my friend, and I see a girl walking a dog. It meant absolutely nothing to me. It didn't affect my life whatsoever. That night, she's in my dream, and not like as a main character. Just it's also as a background thing. Or maybe I saw a certain type of drink at a store, and that's what I'm drinking in my dream. Those don't necessarily mean anything. It's just your brain like entertaining the idea of something different. I think. I don't know.
And we need to get in Jillian Connolly. Go tweet her. I think she just...
But did she tweet about the show or something?
No, but I think she just clicked like on it, so that means she's around. Say, tell her to get her ads in.
Jillian Conley, if you are watching and you want to join the show for the next 20 minutes, let us know. Let me get the link. Anyway, so dreams. Yeah, tell me one of your dreams that like you remember that you'll probably always remember from, or something maybe that's recurring.
Me?
Yeah, anybody. Let's talk about dreams.
I'm not trying to be funny. I really don't. I have no recurring dreams. I rarely remember them. I know I do dream, but I don't tend to remember them. Unless they're dreams about moonshine, where I usually end up crying and wearing a dress. Moonshine? And she's throwing tokens at my head. Overhand.
Wait. What is it, Lady Leonard?
Lady Leonard.
And calling me Lady Leonard? Throwing coins at you?
Bam! Dance, monkey!
So that's kind of an inside joke right now, but in our group chat earlier, Moonshine had asked what our porn star names were.
Tay asked that. Oh my god, you guys need to quit confusing us.
Who did? Oh, Tay?
Asked that.
Why? Who else confused you guys?
She's so crazy.
Well, there's only two girls, and there's like...
Well,
there
because
was
then
Jacqueline, but I don't
Chucky
know
said
where she-
something. Then Chucky or no, Matthew Santoro said something about the porno I threw out there. Yeah.
Never heard of him.
And I was like, excuse me, like, don't tell Tay that was brilliant. That was my fucking joke.
Motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, true.
And guaranteed that's gonna be the funniest thing I say all day, which is the only reason that I'm stressing out about it.
I thought it was...
Because
I want credit for that bit.
sometimes I notice when I say the funniest thing I'm going to say all day, and in that moment, I'm just very proud of myself.
I mean, I know there are several things that like determine what could be a porn star name, but mine was, I thought it was like your child, the street you grew up on as a kid, and like your pet name. So mine would have been like Ginger Lake, or if it was my middle name, it would have been Alan Odyssey Lake, because I actually lived on two different streets that were lake.
Shut up, Ginger Lake it is. Now suck
Florida.
that dick.
Yeah,
Did I talk about that in one of my fucking drinking and smokings where Moonshine was going to direct the porno where they're just lobbing logs into your ass, and she's just
oh
like...
yes, I do remember that. In fact, you know, that was one of your best ones, but also you were wasted, man.
I was
and I wrote down like
because I could just see Moonshine. Scott, you have to imagine what I was imagining. She had the knee-high black leather boots that the old-time directors wear, the beret, the fucking riding crop, and she's like, bring in the logs, and just directing the porno, and she's like, and just throwing shit up your ass. It was hysterical.
I was actually kind of trying to like, I was like, I wonder if there's like a job for people like naming pornos, because that would be like a fun job. It seems like a pretty easy job too. Like, come rhymes with a lot of stuff. Name pornos.
Yeah, well, you know.
Because then it would be fun to, like, try to come up with fun names for them that are kind of clever. Not just Asszilla 12. Ass
don't know.
rammers, ass
Well,
rammers
fucking
134.
cool. Come on. That's awesome.
I love a play on words and puns. So like,
Spaceballs.
porn names would be right. The porn names would be
Nuts
fun.
is the
But
porno version.
Moonshine, do you want to say what your name would have been, or what the porno would have been?
Lucy Valley, the most like the sluttiest porn name in the universe.
Lucy Valley. That is no crap.
Like the sluttiest.
Wow.
She only does pornos. She only does pornos with the word "gape" in the title somewhere.
Nice.
Now the one that Chucky would be starring in was called Sweet what, Moonshine?
Transvestite, tight spelled like tight, like tight butthole.
Oh my.
For those of you that watch Workaholics, tight butthole.
Nice.
So Austin, what would yours be?
Mine would have like I've never lived on an actually named street. Like the road I live on is
You'd be like Rocky 34.
County Highway 10. So that would be a really fucked up name.
Well, what was
No,
the pet's
County
name
Highway
then?
could definitely be a porn name. You just need to finish it.
Like it'd be like County Highway Bear, which would make me sound like a gay.
Yes.
I'd be in like
Perfect.
Wandering trucker, gay trucker pornos.
I like it.
Like that's the
I
setup.
think you
Is
should
that
roll with
you're
that.
a weary traveler in a truck
Or his
stop?
ass is a highway for the county.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
flowers. Don't send me any messages about that. I will not be entertaining anything like that.
Oh man, I love flowers. Wherever that dude is. Spencer says he is Dippin' Skull, Mint Skull, and he says that I shouldn't lie because I'm like 40. That's cool. Dean Brickland says, if you could get any person on the show, who would you get and why? I would probably want Tom Hanks on the show.
Really? Why Tom
Or
Hanks?
Justin Timberlake. Why Tom Hanks? Because he's one of my favorite actors. I don't think he's ever done a bad movie, and he's a lot of fun. I've seen him do fun things. If not him, the guy from somebody help me. The guy from the Ghostbusters who keeps like showing up in people's weddings randomly.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
That was the first
yeah,
person who hopped into my name for that reason, or hopped into my head for that reason.
He would be a lot of fun to have on the show because he would play along. He would do some cool things. In fact, in person would be the best way to have a live show with him.
Shit, Bill Murray would be great to get on the show.
You know, I think
Right?
You should come sing karaoke with me because he's known to do shit like that. Hey, Bill Murray.
You know, the thing about it that, you know what, I mean, even, not because Moonshine is such an Aerosmith fan, but somebody like a Steven Tyler who's logged thousands and thousands of miles, has amazing stories, that would be
I thought
cool.
you were going to say thousands and thousands of girls.
Same thing, but I would love
You're
to
right.
hear.
Storytellers are definitely.
That would be amazing to have somebody like that. Or there's I told you about David Lee Roth's YouTube channel, right, Scotty?
You have, but I have not checked it out.
It's the Roth Show, and it's basically what I wanted drinking, smoking to be, but he's got more production dollars and better stories. And he's gone off on tangents a couple of times about his youth and what brought him to certain things, and he would talk about, like, he goes, here's the reason why Marlboro Red is important, and he would talk about those cigarettes, or why a specific, I think it was Miller in the can or something like that, and he was going on about what made that, and wrapped it up at the end. I was like, fuck, that was a great story. Or his time in Tokyo and everything. And it's stuff like that. I mean, I know a couple of people who are just, they're incredibly worldly. They've been everywhere. They've literally done everything, you know? And it's just interesting when you hear somebody who's talking about, like one of my friends was talking about, he was a tour manager on theater. And if you walk into a restaurant in China, you know, you can just say, they have these large tables people are eating at, almost like a communal kind of thing, and you could sit down, and he knew the Chinese for, I would like some of that. So he goes, I was coming home, I was out of a bar, I'm drunk. You know, I walked into a restaurant, I sat down, and I told them in Chinese I would like some of that, so they gave me some, and we ate, and I gave them some money and everything. After I was done, I thanked them, and I walked out, and it was only after I walked out that I realized I had wandered into somebody's house.
That's
Wow.
And they're
generosity right there.
And he's like a 6'4" big American dude, so they just kind of looked at him and they gave him a plate of food, and he thanked him, he paid him, and he walked out. Oh, so many stories.
If that was the
Austin.
exact opposite. If that was a small Chinese man walking into a random American person's house,
It would be awesome.
somebody would be getting a baseball bat or something. It'd be headline news tonight.
I don't feel like that's necessarily true. I think it would. I think depending on what area of the country, maybe.
Yeah.
But, like I feel like a tiny little Chinese man walking into an American house would cause confusion, but wouldn't incite violence.
You know.
I
Us?
feel.
Yeah.
I feel like more people would like pull out cameras and be like, "LOL, English."
English. Would they say
I
LOL
would-
or ROR?
I would like some of
Error.
that.
Would it say ROR or LOL?
I would
RRR.
like some of that, please.
ROR.
Hello, Cheyenne. She says, I'm a little late, but good evening, guys. Good
Nice.
evening.
Hi, you came in just for the racist part.
I know. It's going to get us flagged.
No, it's not going to get us
So you
flagged.
guys
It's just
have
going to get us
plans?
hate comments.
What's going on this week for you, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm going to Comic-Con
When is that?
on Wednesday. The preview night is Wednesday, and since I'm awesome enough to have an exhibitor's badge, I get to go on preview night and pick up all the swag I can buy/carry.
How did you get that? How'd you get that credential?
One of my Twitter followers actually was like, hey, the company that I'm going to Comic-Con with is looking for volunteers to work their booth. You should email them. And I did, and so they chose me to be one of their 4 volunteers. And
Very
so
nice. Do me
I
a
got
favor,
the
Moonshine.
badge for the weekend.
I know I've asked you this before, but drag your finger over the microphone on the part that's facing you and the part that's away from you, please.
Wait, what? Do what now?
Drag your fingernail over the microphone head, the part that is facing you.
Like
Yeah,
that?
he wants to test it to see which side is actually...
Yeah, and the part that's away from you. So if it's flat like this and this part is facing you, not the top. And now do the back side of it, please. Dude, that's omnidirectional. Usually the light, because there's a light under the word Samson, right?
Yeah, that's normally on your side.
Usually usually you talk into the light. That's why I got
I was just
confused.
gonna say I haven't been having problems with the mic recently, so
You have or have not?
have not. It's actually been working really well.
That's weird. That must be on Omni, dude. That's
I mean,
weird.
I kind of you asked if I was hiding behind it. No, it just works better like this.
I mean, it has to be omnidirectional unless
You should have actually last night on MFC for like an hour. People were like, "Whoa!" like radio DJ cam girl, and I was like, "Do cam girls just not have any?"
You really don't
equipment?"
even
That's
need
hilarious.
you don't even need the screen in front of it, to be honest with you.
You know, I was like playing around in Sony Acid and was getting like a lot of interference. So
Wait,
when I'm
your range isn't very good on that. Like, you step 6 inches away and it sounds so much different than when you're in front of that screen.
Yeah, you got to increase that volume or that gain. But that's a decent microphone. I know it is, but I thought it was unidirectional. I didn't know it was Omni.
I haven't.
See, now we're getting all the room.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what? I honestly, Moonshine, when you get a chance, flip the
I'm on
screen
my-
over. Like,
I'm on my laptop. I haven't like at all set this microphone up to work
Yeah.
with this laptop.
Because it's weird, because normally that microphone, you only talk into one side of it, even though there's screens on both sides, and I was just curious. But I like the way it sounds. I think it looks cool.
Well, and like I said, when I don't know, it's weird because I usually am up on that computer, but because I'm not using my light, because I was like, I don't want to look good tonight.
you've got
I
the
don't
Seth
know, I mean-
Rogen laugh.
What?
Anybody ever told you that you laugh like Seth Rogen?
No.
You just did. That laugh was like so much like his.
Moonshine, darling.
I've kind of my voice isn't necessarily full force right now. God, I'm all sweaty. Ugh.
Moonshine, you're not on a Mac, are you?
I what now? Sorry, I
You
knocked my
on a Mac?
earbud out. No.
Okay. Never mind. Never mind, darling.
So, back to the question about who we'd want on the show. Now, we're talking about non-YouTubers, because most YouTubers we could probably get on the show. We just typically don't, or you got to wrestle with their schedule, and I'm not allowed to do that. We have our show when we have it, and whoever shows up, shows up.
Can't get Cassidy Quinn. She's too busy being a news anchor.
Right. But, well, reporter, I guess, I mean, anchor is a privilege. You don't really do that.
Oh, that's right. But she's still, hey, she's doing the thing. Good for her.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Doing the thing.
But Greg Rogers in the comments said Stephen Fry would be a good person. He would. He's one of those people that is seasoned. You know, he travels the world. He's tasting different foods. Sees different cultures. That would be somebody to talk to.
We need somebody crazy. We need like Charlie Sheen. We need somebody volatile.
Right, that would be pretty cool.
God.
Awesome would that be?
The back and forth.
Or Tom Cruise about Scientology or something.
You know what?
Tom Cruise would hate me because I'd be like, I've never seen any of your movies, bro. Sorry.
Really? You haven't seen any?
Are you kidding me? He'd actually probably be relieved.
You've never seen?
I'd be like, except for I saw War of the Worlds with Dakota Fanning.
You want to know something, Moonshine? I don't know.
Vanilla Skies?
I kind of like.
I know if I'd seen a Tom Cruise.
If you like those sweeping period pieces at all, The Last Samurai.
I love Tropic Thunder.
Last Samurai was great, and Tropic Thunder was brilliant. But Last Samurai was really a great movie. It was a great movie.
The closest I've come to like actually watching one of Tom Cruise's like more critically acclaimed movies, I guess. Not critically acclaimed, but I don't know how to describe it, because like I know War of the Worlds, I know he starred in it, but it's not one of the movies that people think of when they think of Tom Cruise, so I don't really count it. I haven't seen any like the big ones, and the closest I've come is that the strip club that I originally worked at in New Orleans used to play Cocktail in a loop in the VIP lounge on like Sunday nights. No sound, but they just had the movie playing on the screen, so it'd be all like bottle flipping and shit.
You should also check out Collateral with Jamie Foxx. Another good movie. That was an interesting movie.
I don't think I can get over Tom Cruise being like a massive weirdo and shit. I think it's too late.
That's the reason why it worked so well, because he pulled it off. He played Stone Cold Killer brilliantly.
Tom Cruise has a center tooth. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know, most of us, if you look, most of us have the canines in the front teeth. He's missing one of the canines, so his front teeth, he has 3 of them. Like his one canine is actually his left tooth, his left one.
Is weird.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I think he had a bad tooth, and they had that fixed, and that was the best they could do. They had said that.
Maybe that's it, but I just saw like his jaw is like twisted around. Anyway.
Santoro, where are you at?
There's just other people I'd rather see in movies, I guess, and stuff. I don't think he's talented enough to be like super popular like he is, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. And which is especially interesting since you've never seen any of his fucking movies.
I feel like I know the gist of it. It's not like I haven't seen.
No, you don't.
It's not like I haven't seen.
That's like saying that that's like you said Aerosmith put out an album and you know what it sounds like.
That awesome British show about cars.
You know, you should at least check out 1 or 2 of them. See what you think. Would it kill you to watch a fucking movie?
That is 2 hours that I'll never get back watching some dude that I can't like get over how weird he is in real life, so I can't get into his movie.
Most actors are weird in real life.
I was okay with Les Grossman just because it was like a character, and I was like, good for you, Tom Cruise. That's awesome. It's always just some guy running.
What's weird to one person may not be to another, you know? I mean, it is kind of...
It's weird to me, which is why I'm not going to go out of my way to watch his movies.
All right, fine. But you don't know if he's a good actor. You only think you know.
I didn't say he
wasn't. Fair assessment.
I just said I wasn't all that interested.
I think he's low. I think he's talented.
I think Austin's got an opinion. Austin, favorite Tom Cruise movie? Go.
This is going to be really cliche because I'm kind of pulling the moonshine train here. I've only like really watched Top Gun because I don't know. I just never found the appeal in Tom Cruise.
So let me ask you this question: when they got to the volleyball scene, did you pause it?
No. Let's put it this way: the last time that I watched that movie, I don't think I was old enough to understand
the homoeroticism in that fucking scene.
Who's the blonde guy in Top Gun again?
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. See, I could probably watch Top Gun just because for every like bit as off-put as I am about Tom Cruise,
Val Kilmer.
I I
Well,
love young Val Kilmer, and
well,
I don't know,
Val Kilmer's way weirder than Tom
but
Cruise.
I don't
Way
know.
weirder,
Don't tell me.
yes.
Don't tell me.
Way
Don't tell
weirder.
me. Don't tell me though,
He was
because
way,
I'll always remember Val Kilmer from Real Genius.
yeah.
Awesome.
He was like I think that's where Ryan Reynolds got his inspiration for Van Wilder was Val Kilmer in Real Genius. But I knew somebody who went to high school with him, and I said, "What was he like?" And he goes, he was nuts then too." And I was like, "All right, consistency."
Now,
People are just nuts.
Some are. And then they make it to the drama department, and boom, the rest is fucking history. But I liked Real Genius.
So did I.
But I thought that it was, like I said, it was kind of like Ryan Reynolds and Van Wilder. National Lampoon's Van Wilder. I'm sorry. Who the fuck is National Lampoon? Who are these people?
Your production company.
Got it.
They gotta be, right?
okay.
No, they actually were. It was a magazine started in the 70s, I believe. National Lampoon. Kind of a
Well,
parody
yeah,
thing.
but I mean, I guess but they gotta be a production company. They've been doing stuff since the Vacation movies, right?
Way before Vacation. Fuck, that's all. Animal House, I think, is National Lampoon had something to do with that. Yes,
Yeah.
because it was a
Well, weren't
it
those
was
movies?
an
Weren't those
article, it was
movies
a short story that somebody
not
made
too
into
far
a film.
apart?
Huh?
Like the first Vacation movie? How far away is that from Animal House? Realistically,
I don't know.
it
To
started.
IMDb.
It started still kind of sexy Chevy Chase before he got all fat and like completely out of his mind. I heard he's like just a douche from the start, though.
He got banned off of fucking. He got banned off
If
of
you can
Saturday Night
actually
Live.
get Bill Murray to fight you, like, what kind of an asshole do you need to be?
Animal House was 1978,
And the first Vacation film?
which was the first Vacation.
think it's just-
1983.
Okay, yeah. See, they were relatively close.
Not really.
6 years?
So you can have a child and have it in first grade by that time.
I mean, I know. I was a different person when I was 20. As
You were a
to,
different
my
person
birthday's
this
my
morning.
birthday's in less than a week. I'm actually buying Aerosmith tickets like tomorrow. Yay! My first round of Aerosmith tickets, Inglewood, California.
Okay.
Okay, I
Literally
want to ask
3 days
National
after Comic Con.
Lampoon.
I'm going
You want to know
hard.
something? National Lampoon started Lemmings, which was a 73 stage show, which was basically the precursor to Saturday Night Live.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Humor magazine from 70 to 98. That's funny. Animal House, Movie Madness, Class Reunion, Vacation, The Joy of Sex.
You guys
Nice.
see this? I was just given pizza and wings randomly by my roommate.
Literally just getting on to Grubhub to see if I can get some food delivered to me.
Oh,
But
God.
I do want to say, I do want to ask each one of you guys. We are approaching the hour. Jillian kindly said she was heading home and that she would jump in when she got home. But if we're not live, we'll bring her on next week. Hopefully, the rest of the guys will be here. Wednesday, I have a softball game, and it's raining all day. I might do a show on Wednesday anyway, just for if I can do more than one, I will. Wednesday was meant to be like if we couldn't do it Monday, and because this was kind of a last-minute thing, it wasn't really promoted or anything. I will.
But it was fun.
It was. I like it. I do want to talk about maybe a recent movie you've watched or something you want to see, just because I've been on like a movie kick, and I'll start it off by saying I watched The Spectacular Now last night, and that was recommended by one of my followers. I don't remember who, and it was surprisingly good. It didn't get great. It was like 5.6 out of 10 by the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but like the audience, I think, even gave it like a 63%. It wasn't anything. I liked it. It was here in high school, kind of like a love story. Nothing like profound, like nothing crazy that you're gonna like take away from it, but interesting because I think some of us can relate to that. Anyway, so The Spectacular Now. How about you, Moonshine?
What was the question? I'm sorry. I was
was there a
looking.
question?
I was looking at sushi. What was the question? Was there? I felt like I was listening.
Moonshine, did you hear anything I said?
I heard what you said, but I didn't even hear the question.
The question was, it wasn't even a question. I said, give me a movie that you've seen. It wasn't a question. It was more of
You
like,
were talking. I knew you were talking about a movie, but I was just like,
Wow,
what
well,
did you
that's
want
good.
from me?
something that like you have seen recently, or something that you want to go see? Maybe something that's coming out, or something you'd recommend. Anything? Rather than a YouTube channel, I'm basically asking you for a movie recommendation.
I know.
Yeah, fuck YouTube channel.
No. I just don't. I don't see movies or like keep up with movies or like get excited about movies. The last movie I saw was a matinee of 22 Jump Street, and I was like, this is pretty much what I was expecting. Oh wait, whoa! There's that one with James Franco and Duder, and they're trying to kill Kim Jong Un.
Yeah. Seth Rogen and that. Yeah, did that one come out or what happened?
I would like it. It's not out yet, and I think I would like to go see that in some altered state.
I'm pretty sure it's going to start World War III, though.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
I'm tired of flossing my teeth. Let's get this apocalypse on.
I don't think North Korea has the like actual power to do much about it.
Actually, they can do some damage to the neighboring countries, not us.
Japan would be pretty pissed at us.
Yeah, they would be.
For
And
letting it
Japan, well, yeah, hit that fucking Fukushima place again or whatever, or hit their other fucking nuclear facilities. Whatever the fuck it's called.
Nagasaki or Hiroshima?
Fukushima, the other.
No, it's a nuclear power plant that just.
Yeah, he's talking about the plant, Scott.
The plant that melted down recently.
Yeah, they hit something like that. You see what that happens. So, Jillian Connolly, ladies and gentlemen, she ignored every red light and stop sign on her way home just so she could show us all her fabulousness if her camera would just click on.
Wait, she doesn't have any-
Well, we'll talk until she's ready. If she's ready, maybe she's got to figure something out. Maybe she'll never be here. But okay, so that is the movie coming out. I don't remember what it's called, but I think a lot of people can relate to that. Chucky, how about you? What's something you want to go see or have seen?
I got nothing on that too. There's nothing really coming out that I want to see, but I want to ask Moonshine a question. Moonshine, I know I've asked you this before, but I'm tired. You tend to lean more towards classic rock, or are there any other bands that you tend to go with? Is there any new music that you've been digging?
No. Even more so no. Even more so no than the movie question.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a cutoff era where you're like, you know what, pretty much anything beyond that, it kind of fuzzes out for me and I don't hear it?
Not really, but I feel like a song has to age and like I have to get used to it over time before I can make the judgment call of whether I like it or not.
What does that usually take?
I don't know, 10 plus years. I guess.
Really?
I guess
That
I
long?
could. Yeah.
Well, what's a band or a song that you were just like when you first heard it, you were like, fuck these motherfuckers, and then you're like, ooh, I love this song.
It's never like fuck these motherfuckers, but it's always like, yeah, solid jam, blah blah blah. But I never really get too attached to it until I hear it on the radio like a lot later, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Like I guess I'm just all about nostalgia forever.
You know what, Scotty? There hasn't been much out there that's been.
I liked
really...
The Darkness's first album, but that was like fucking 10 years ago. See? Exactly. And now I like jam out to their CD all the time, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I remember this shit.
Yeah, I believe in a thing called love. I haven't seen much coming out, dude. I'm not much into the new Star Wars franchise or anything. I don't give a fuck about it.
Did you not just hear me say I was jamming out to their CD? Can we just talk about how nostalgic I'm being?
No.
Like an actual physical CD that I was
Honey, when you pull out an album, we'll talk terms.
I've got them on the walls.
Album?
Oh, maybe I don't have them on the walls. They're in the closet.
There you go. There you go. But
I had at least one on the
I'm
wall.
not much into the new, like I said, everyone's freaking out because of the fucking X-Wing fighter that's all over fucking Facebook, and I'm like, whatever. I'm not happy with this reboot at all.
Well,
As a matter of fact, I was over at a friend's house and they were playing Star Wars for their kids, and I'm watching it and I was like, this is the redone version of Star Wars, the reissue, where they, had more digital effects and all this other stuff, and it looked so unbelievably bad. It just looked. I told him, I said, Jesus, Doctor Who looks more realistic than this fucking thing. And then they had to put the additional laser blast in from Greedo because they didn't want Han Solo didn't shoot first, and we're like, Han shot first, fucker. Greedo didn't shoot first. That's what made Han cool. And they digitally put in another shot to make it look like Greedo shot first. Over here on the wall, of course, because he's sitting right in front of him holding the gun. But they put it was so bad, dude. It was so liberal. I wanted to fucking strangle him. Look at you, got your pizza delivered, your wings. You are so fucking buffalo. The only thing you're missing is a Bill's fucking toque.
I have plenty of bills. Look, right there in the background.
Right behind you, next to God.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think there's a lot of different movies that, like, there's new ones coming out every week, and usually the better ones are like Midsummer and super late, like early Christmas or like early winter, I think, because they want all that the December time. People go to the movies a lot because they're in hibernation mode and because of the holidays and because it's the end of the year for nominations and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a thing that families can do non-awkwardly together because it involves being very quiet.
That is true. That is true. I don't think movies are a good idea for dates. Maybe like first couple dates, you want to go to lunch or coffee or sit down at like a.
There's so many, dude. Even if I'm with my friends not even dates. Like, there's so many things that I can name that I'd rather do than going to a movie that it's like it's almost ridiculous. That's why I'm like, I don't really see movies. I don't really care to like go sit in a dark room with a sticky floor for $16 just to like not be able to pee or do anything or like risk like missing a funny or good bit of the movie, which is probably overall going to suck anyway. I'm very cynical about movies ever since The X-Files 2.
Yeah,
couldn't tell.
That was the day it happened. Seriously,
I go to the movies a lot. I used to go about once or twice a week for several years in a row, but that was when I was a couple years into a relationship, and we were a boring couple, and it was like, what I mean is like you want to be boring, you're like tired or whatever, but you're like, I want to go see a movie, or you want to just get out of the house, but you go right into some dark room anyway, and you're right, you have to buy a $5 drink and a $12 ticket, and then maybe halfway through it miss 5 important minutes of it or something, but I still like the act of doing it. I like going. I just don't think early on in dating that like it's a good idea because you want to learn more about them one-on-one. Going into somewhere dark and then coming out, unless you plan on spending the next couple hours together doing something fun like go-karts or going out to lunch or taking a walk somewhere, something that is more productive than a movie.
I only saw 22 Jump Street because I had some time to kill, and I was like, it's matinee time. Like, okay.
Yeah,
it'll be relatively cheap, and I can have seen a movie that people might be talking about. Finally.
One thing I'm not a big like action movie guy in person. Like I don't watch like the Fast and Furious. I'll watch it if it's on TV, but I will not buy the DVDs. And my opinion on buying DVDs or movies is that once you've seen it, do you really need to see it over and over again? Unless it's like an absolute classic. It's something that you just love. Something like.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, exactly. Something that you like, The Goonies. I will always have that. But there's certain like movies that have come out this year or last year, unless it's like the award-winning, not necessarily award-winning, but something that is award-winning to me, like something that deserves it. But I don't just buy movies to buy movies. That's my cousin rented a cottage along Lake Erie 2 weeks ago, and he pulled out this giant book. I'm talking about like, remember when CDs first came out and everyone thought it was cool to put them in the sleeves and the books and everything, and you put it in your car? This guy had this thick, probably 100 pages of 6 DVDs per page. I'm going, dude, you have several $1,000s worth of shit. Maybe your kid. He goes, when you have kids, you tend to buy all the Disney stuff. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
But they're not even worth that now. They might have been worth that when he bought them, but like the second he buys them, they're worth like absolutely nothing. They're like parts only. They're like 30 cents a piece.
I agree. I don't buy them. If I want to stream a movie, I go on to Putlocker or Utah on Fire, something online to stream it. Or
right. So rephrasing, he doesn't have thousands of dollars worth. He's got thousands of dollars invested in.
Yes.
And yes. I completely get your point, Scott. Like I have a friend myself, and I was at his house, and they just have like a bookcase full of DVDs, and I'm like, there's a thing called the internet, and you could put other things up there, like pictures or trinkets from vacations that mean something, but it's just DVD, like wall to wall. I just can't understand that.
Now, movies are kind of like CDs in the fact that there is some royalties that go back to the actors. if you felt they deserved it.
Right,
But like,
but at this point, if you own a DVD, you can rip it into your computer and just huck the disc.
there you go.
And
okay.
then technically, you can probably get, like, you can buy copies on the internet, is what he's saying. He's not saying that, like to screw anybody over, to pirate it or anything.
Oh, you did give me a lot of
Gillian
credit there.
Connolly, the darkest white girl you ever saw in your life, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
she's on the beach all the time. That girl is on the water, in the canal, on a boat.
I'm turning my brightness up and it's still not working.
I'm telling you, girl. How was Jamaica?
I didn't know I was coming into this.
I like how
until
she's
a
just
few minutes
focusing on her
ago,
boobs.
so.
Lift it up a little bit higher.
Sorry. I just.
How's everything?
Literally,
Look at you.
my computer.
You look like you're...
My computer is not working. I'm on my iPad, so I'm sorry.
It's all good.
She does not wear sunscreen.
We were just finishing up the show. We were talking about like movies and stuff that we like to see. Moonshine was saying that she doesn't really like to go to the theater and especially spend the money to watch a movie. She'll enjoy something from home if she's going to. Chuggy was kind of a similar boat. Austin's kind of with me where he's like, I'll go watch movies, but I don't buy them. You know, I actually, if I'm going to spend $20, I'd rather spend it at the movie theaters than buying the DVD, even though I get to watch it over again. If I like it enough, I'll find a way to watch it at home, or rent it. Netflix, stream, something. I just think I like the experience of it. I don't know. But what is it? What's a movie maybe that you've seen recently or something that you really want to see?
Theater?
Yeah.
No porn.
The Western movie where how did A Million Days to Wait?
A Million
Ways
Ways
to
to
Die
Die
or something?
Seth MacFarlane. I watched that from home, of course. Yeah, that was better than the reviews, or better than I expected. If you get his sense of humor, it's a perfect movie for you to watch. And don't expect anything other than like slapstick comedy. It was funny.
It was really funny, and there was good characters in there.
Oh yeah. Sarah Silverman was a prostitute. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was good. I actually went and saw it with my parents.
Oh, your parents must have a very good sense of humor. Well, of course they've read your books probably. That's a little awkward, right?
Yeah. My brother-in-law was in town, and he's like, I want to see this movie. And so my parents are like, oh, because he's like, they have all daughters. So and so we went, and I'm sitting there between like my mom and dad, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. She's like getting anal sex and giving blowjobs, and I'm like, hey. So it's an interesting movie.
It's definitely one of those things where that would make you uncomfortable around your parents unless they have a really open sense of humor and open mind. But it was awkwardly funny at times, but it was so good. I liked it. I mean, again, it's not something you want to spend $20 on a DVD, but if you're with a bunch of friends, it would be worth that DVD rather than spending $15-20 each to go to a movie. But if you want a good time
or if you're
with your friends or something, that would be perfect.
Yeah. Or your dad's paying, so.
Or your dad's paying. Good call on that one. So what's the Windy City like these days when you're actually there?
Really hot.
Yeah,
Is it?
I think we're getting the same weather. It's today was like 87 and sunny. Tomorrow's gonna be like 88 and sunny. Wednesday is gonna be every Wednesday is when I have bar league softball, and that's the day that it rains. That's like the dedicated day to rain. But yeah, it's been hot. What do you do, Zach? Zach, Outback Zach. I don't know if you know him, Zach James. He was actually in Chicago for like the last week, and he just got back to LA like 6 hours ago. But I love Chicago. You know, when we came to visit you, and I went from never visiting it ever.
Is this Zach, the one on the end?
No, that's not Zach. That's Austin. Austin's.
I'm sorry, Austin. That's Gillian Connolly. Gillian, that's Austin.
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't introduce. But yeah, Chicago was fun. You know, I drove through it when I was coming from Seattle one time, and then like last year when we came to visit you, like I went through Chicago probably 4 or 5 times. It was just a lot of fun. I like it. Always busy.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 city in North America. Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's Mexico City, New York City, L.A., like Chicago, Houston, Philly. Those are the big ones that I can think of. Anyway, So what else is new? What's going on with your book?
It's coming out in September.
Oh,
Finally.
nice.
The rest of the series.
Now you were going to include me. Did you do that?
Yes, you're the main character in the third book.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Sounds good. So, you want to come on next week? Are you going to be available on Monday? Because we're basically, this is like the tail end of the show, and
We're out of here. Is what
Do
he's
you
saying.
guys not have a schedule anymore? You
We have
guys
no idea.
are off.
20
I
minutes
know
ago, we were
that
supposed to have everyone here. Now no one's here.
It's okay. Here's
Why?
the thing. We went from Wednesday and Sunday, and then when I was like, all right, I can't do it every week, twice a week. Let's cut back to one. I'll give you guys the option. Santoro was like, I can't do Sundays because of my girlfriend, and I spend time with her. And I'm like, okay, and you're whatever. You're planning this and that, and Rob was cramming everything for his
In his ass.
why would you put that in
Get
the
all in his ass.
But then we were doing Wednesday, and now he's cramming in for Seriously Strange. I'm like,
In his ass.
okay. And then Matt, went through a breakup. I'm like, okay, now you're available on Sundays, but how about Mondays? Since it's early on in the week, you can do your research for your facts and shit, and we can still have a show. Cool, yeah, let's do it. Everybody agreed on Monday at 8, and then suddenly Rob's like, oh, I can't make it.
Don't be airing dirty laundry. Nobody gives a fuck. Stop it, Scotty.
No, I'm doing it because I want to say.
No, we don't need to know.
Back and forth. We were going to do it
Have
Wednesday.
a little bit of fucking decorum.
Monday.
Come on. Come
Doing
on.
it on Monday.
Austin doesn't want to know.
It was going to be at 8 o'clock, and then now I'm switching it to 9. So basically, take Wednesday at 9 like we were doing, and make it
9:50.
Monday at 9. And if we happen to miss Mondays, Wednesdays are our backup since people already kind of expect us to be here on
At
Wednesdays.
8:45.
There you go. Cool? Does that
Okay,
make
so
sense?
Monday. But
Monday at
If you're
9.
not doing it Monday, then Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesdays might still happen. We might do, instead of like back in the day a year ago, we were doing Wednesday, Sunday. I might do Monday, Wednesday, and whoever's available is available. If I'm available, I'll do it, even if nobody else is. But pretty sure at least one of you guys will be available. So to answer your question, next Monday, 9 o'clock Eastern. What are you doing?
I don't know, but I'm gonna do this.
Okay, but you're Central Time, right? So you would be 8.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
can still make happy hour.
I love your priorities. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know, Jillian is an author and a writer. She is in New York City, or no, she's not. She's in Chicago. Actually, she's everywhere. You could probably just like drop a pen on a map, and she's probably in that city that weekend. So, where can we find you on the internet, there, Jillian?
Conley on Twitter.
At Jillian Conley on Twitter, and from there she'll have other links and
Did you get it?
fun stuff.
I'm following you on Twitter. Damn it. I'm going to bother you.
You're
You
not
don't
following her?
follow
Oh,
me?
it's because you've got a different Twitter.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we follow each other. Good. Shh.
Get
All right,
out.
cool.
We follow each other.
You know what we do. Into the bedroom.
So
Your hair is
moonshine.
so long.
Yeah, I stopped cutting it.
Yeah, Chucky, your hair is getting long. Are you gonna let it grow for your if you do this music thing, or are you just whatever?
I don't know. I just we'll see
Okay.
what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm so fluffy.
Personally,
Are you
I
in
think unless you're
California
gonna
now?
go like hair metal band from the '80s, keep it short.
Vegas, baby. Vegas. You're coming out.
Wait, you're in Vegas now? I'm
Yeah.
gonna be out there in October before I go on my book tour in California.
Ooh, we're gonna get together. It's gonna be like, hey, just like that.
Uh-oh. That's gonna be trouble.
Well, play your cards right. But it'll be fun. We'll try to get the rest of the people down there. Maddie and Dyke and them.
If I travel across the country come October, which I haven't really made any sort of like, I haven't said anything, but I will probably be driving down and across Vegas, so maybe I'll stop too, Chucky.
Nah, I don't want to see you. Scotty, nah, I don't want to see you.
I don't even take you seriously.
Moonshine shows up. I want Moonshine. I'm like the only person in this group who hasn't met you.
Moonshine's like
No, wait, I don't think
right now.
Dyke has met you yet either, has he?
She is muted.
I actually, Moonshine and I were in the same city at the same time, and I was with Sassy Bob a couple days before she had visited, and I never even got to see her that week. She went and danced at a place about 10 minutes from my house, but I was not there. So we have not met. And she's like 5 foot, and like I thought she was taller, but she's like same height as Matt, which is like Hobbit size.
I want to meet Moonshine.
Hobbit.
All right.
Okay, well,
Jillian's boot. There you go.
It's been an hour and 15 minutes. I said an hour. We brought Jillian in here to extend it a little bit. If she's available next Monday, we'll see her pretty face.
Get a couple extra inches out of it.
Maybe Moonshine will
this
be.
This episode is going to be entitled Hot Chicks with Glasses.
This iPad is terrible. I don't have anything to balance it on.
Your boobs.
Then you would see nothing. You wouldn't even see them.
Oh, that's true. Well, we don't see it now because your hair anyway. So
in a perfect world.
All right. Well, I want to.
I've been trying to figure out this whole food thing. Sorry, I'm very hungry.
You go and you get something to eat because we're out of here.
Yeah, we're leaving. Austin, thank you for joining and saying almost nothing. Chucky, thank you for.
Like we gave him the chance.
For being here with your Italian mop in your head. Jillian, thank you for rushing home.
Yeah, thank you for letting me stop in.
We will see you next week.
Again.
Sure. Moonshine, thanks for showing up. I'm glad you What did you order? If you want to ask it?
I'm getting sushi.
Oh, okay.
Are you? Very cool. Look at you. That's not filling, though. Are you sick and can't eat? Or are you very hungry?
It's good enough for me. That it's just easy for me to digest, so it doesn't like sap all my energy. Because like that's where I get to a lot of times where I'm like, it's gonna take too much energy, and then like when I finally eat, I'm like, ugh, my body's using like its last little bit of energy to like digest this big heavy meal I just ate.
I hear you.
So when I'm energy low, I try to eat stuff that's easy to digest, so it doesn't like just make me completely useless.
Can't wait till I meet Moonshine so I can do some acupuncture on her and fix her.
I will have the links in the description for everybody who's on the show tonight. Next week we should have Tay, Jillian, Moonshine, maybe even Jacqueline. We'll have the regular guys most likely. Austin, you're welcome to join. You didn't really say much towards the end. I know you just let us do our thing. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I did not give you a hard time, and I want some credit, Austin. I didn't say you were a serial killer.
That was what I was about to say.
I didn't say you were gay and you were going to eat your like.
I put that foot in my mouth.
Fucking
porn star names.
There you go.
But I wanna say briefly, thank you guys for tolerating this kind of sporadic, like unpredictable schedule, and we're gonna get it figured out. Mondays at 9 Eastern should be the time. If we go a little earlier, a little later, it should be within 15 minutes. And Wednesdays will be our backup or our bonus. And as far as the comment tracker, it's been glitchy lately. The comments come and go. Right now it's only showing 3, but it showed like 20, 30, 40, and then it kind of like hides it. Like, I don't know. I can't really explain what Google Plus is going through. It's kind of hit or miss. But thank you for watching. We will see you maybe Wednesday, if not next Monday. And that's it for Let Your Google Hangout, episode 126. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Chucky. Thank you, Jillian. Thank you, Moonshine. And thank you, audience.
And thank you, Scotty.
You're welcome.